I'm Cheryl Sachs, personal fitness trainer at Retro Fitness of Kingston, Princeton. And today's Fitbit is how to do a lunge properly. Lunges are a great exercise to work almost every single muscle of your legs. There are two problems though that I often see, and they're kind of interrelated. The first is that most people are quad dominant, meaning that their quadriceps are the strongest muscle of their legs, even though the glutes really should be the strongest muscle. So they do everything using the quads. The second problem is that people often complain of knee pains when doing lunges, and that's actually often because the quads are doing all the work and the glutes are doing nothing. So it's very interrelated. Oftentimes when I see lunges, it's often a lot of weight on your front leg. So when they're lunging, it's all leaning forwards. The front knee leaning forwards over the toes or over the middle of the foot. All their weight is on the front of their foot, not really on their heel. Sometimes the heel even lifts. All that puts a lot of stress on the front knee. It really doesn't work the glutes at all, and just still maintains the strength of those quadriceps. So when you do lunges, the first thing to start out with is to start with your feet hip width apart. You want to take then a step forwards or a step backwards. So if you're going to take a big step back, you're up nice and tall. If you take a big step forwards, doing front lunges, you want to make sure that you then send your weight backwards. So often when we take a step forwards, let's say in walking lunges, our weight stays forwards and we lean into that front leg. So just pause for a second, pull your weight between both legs. Okay. You want to make sure that when you do step either forwards or backwards that you don't cross behind, because then you're going to end up losing your balance. So keep that hip width, it'll be a good base of support for you. So feet are hip width apart. That's step one, big step forwards or big step backwards. Then you want to make sure number two is that your back heel is up nice and high. That's going to give you the range of motion to actually move down into your lunge. When you drop your back heel, what happens is there's no room for your knee to actually bend. Your knee cannot go anywhere. So we end up leaning into that front leg. So with that back heel up nice and high, then you have room to drop down into your lunge. So step number three is then actually bending your back knee first. And that's very important. That's actually key to taking all the stress off of your front knee. So when you bend your back knee first, the front one will follow because it has nowhere else to go. So you end up with two 90-degree angles at the bottom. Step four for the way up is you're pushing your leg straight down into the floor. So think about pushing straight down. That's going to pop you up like an elevator. Okay? So you don't want to push your back knee backwards. You don't want to push your front knee out straight. Just push all of your weight straight down into the floor. As you come up, you want to make sure that you squeeze that back glute, and that will help you take all that weight off of the back quadriceps. All right, so let's refresh. Step one, feet are hip width apart. Step two would then be take a big step back or a big step forwards. Step three is back heel up nice and high. Then you're going to bend your back knee, and your front one will follow as you lower straight down. You're pushing all of your weight straight down into the floor, first by squeezing that front butt cheek as you start to push down, and ending by squeezing that back butt cheek. And again, as you come up, you don't want to push your back knee back. That's compensation often for weak glutes and over strong quadriceps. So coming up, lifting those hips up above, squeezing that back glute. All right, so down and up, down and up. My knees never hyperextend. All the weight stays on my heel, my toes, and my glutes. So that is how you do lunges without overactivating your quadriceps, by activating and properly strengthening your glute muscles and taking a lot of the stress and a lot of the pain off of your knees. Be sure to like us on Facebook for more Fitbits and healthy tips.